Hello and welcome to the Business for Detailers podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Wilton-Jones, and today joining me, we have James Hayes from Alpha Tyres, and this is a very, very good conversation. So James Hayes has built an absolute empire in the Australian tyre automotive business, and at one point was doing $1 million per month revenue, and this guy knows how to build local service-based businesses. So if you are wanting to grow, start, or just absolutely explode your small local business, your car detailing business, or anything in the automotive industry, this is a conversation you are definitely going to want to listen to. So let's get into it. And before I get started into the conversation, I just want to say, if you are actually wanting to start or grow your car detailing business, you want some extra help, you want to get it to over $10,000 per month, just as I have done with my own detailing businesses, then I want you to either send me a DM on Instagram, the link should be below, or click the link below. You can schedule a free call either with me or one of my team members will be on that call with you. So click the link below or send me a DM. Now, let's get into this conversation. All right, we're live. James, welcome to the Business for Detailers podcast. Happy to have you here, man.
No, thank you very much, man. I was stoked when you reached out. I was like, nice. I love it. I've been on a couple of podcasts, but good to be on something that's I guess in the same sort of playing field. Small business. You've scaled small business. I've scaled small business, and we're talking the same language, so it's good.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I love it. Especially in the automotive industry as well. So super cool. And I mean, you've also built up a bit of a following and a bit of an audience on social media. You obviously understand, like, social media is a huge part of the game, right? Even as a small business owner, you just need to be on social media, right?
Well, it's look, I say to my clients, like, it's not the numero uno, like, because it can work both ways. Yeah, you can have a really good social media and attract a shitload of leads, but if you don't have the sales process down pat, and your fulfillment isn't dialed in, then you can quickly ruin your business just as fast by having a powerful social media. So it's a powerful tool, but you got to, I believe, in terms of business growth, there's so many more important things before we worry about marketing. That's my personal opinion anyway.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's like guys who just want to go straight into paid ads, but like the whole system isn't set up for that. And then it's like pouring fuel on a fire, right? And it's just an overwhelming explosion. Cool, man. Let's dive deep today. But before we get into it, I kind of want to just hear a little bit about your backstory and just briefly go into how it all started for you.
Yeah, man. Well,
And a little bit about what you do,
Yeah. So, for the guys that don't know me, my name's James. I started my entrepreneurial journey, I'd like to say probably like 12 years ago in my head, but with a registered ABN and making money, really only September 2019. So it's been a pretty steep learning curve for me over the last sort of nearly 5 years now. And I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur since my early 20s, dude. I got kicked out of the Navy when I was about 21. So I joined the Navy when I was 17, and a bit of a lost soul there for a bit. Went traveling overseas for a couple of years, and but still obviously wanted to feed that beast of becoming a success in my own right, and achieving financial freedom, so that I can have an abundance of time, as well as having money to enjoy those experiences. And I sort of just fell into an opportunity working for somebody locally at my old hometown, at a local tyre business. And it was just meant to be a sort of short-term thing for a few months. And I was going to actually get into commercial scuba diving, because I've done a lot of scuba diving, like in the Navy and overseas and that. And,
awesome. We just got our ticket. We just got our scuba diving ticket before, like 3 months ago, and we went to this place called Raja Ampat in Indonesia, West Papua. Some of the most beautiful fish or coral that I've ever seen. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah, bro, I'm very jealous of that. That's definitely on the bucket list. So, how long were you over there for?
We stayed there for about a week.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it
Yeah.
looks magic. It literally looks like proper postcard shit, but like,
Yeah.
it actually looks like that compared to some of the other Asian countries you go to. You see them on the catalog or on the internet, and then you go there and you're like, oh fuck, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
whereas
Yeah. Yeah.
rush around,
But
part like,
deceiving.
yeah. Whereas I think that some of those islands there, they'd just be absolutely magical, bro. And the diving, the visibility, and that, yeah, you're making me
Oh,
up for it.
unbelievable. Yeah. 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 We could talk, we'll talk on that, a bit later.
Yeah, for sure. And so yeah, dude, I started working just at a local tire business for a few months, and then he sort of offered a bit of a vendor finance opportunity to buy in to the business. And long story short, like we fucked around for like 2 years trying to work out a bit of a deal that worked for both of us. And you know, like most boomers, they seem to think that they can just build these businesses and work in them for 30 years and then they're worth millions of dollars when they're just on paper they're not. A lot of these guys have no, and that's what's so exciting about the automotive industry, I think, in most trades is like there's just an abundance of opportunity right now because, you know, we've got a whole industry that's on the backs of these boomers that haven't really got an exit strategy or anything like that. And a lot of them are just like, this is getting too hard. Pack it up, boys. So, like, for us, sort of younger guys coming through the cracks, because there's so few of us, fuck, there's some opportunity.
Mm.
So I was there for a couple of years and then I sort of got a bit impatient. I was in like 28 at the time, 27. And I was just like, dude, I've got to do my own thing. I've got to run my own race. I can't do it anymore. My now wife, she'd moved up to where we are living. And because I'd sort of, you know, sold her the dream that I was buying this business and it didn't really work out. So I was just like, I just got to go for it. And so yeah, I just started out doing mobile tyres, so just out of the back of my ute, and I had a trailer with a tyre fitting machine and balancer in the back of the trailer, and we just cruised to literally just mobile on site. And you know, when we started the business, we weren't really things weren't perfect. You know, we didn't have enough
Mm.
capital, didn't have enough real working capital. I was definitely over leveraged for sure, and you know, I think that fire under my ass is still there to this day. And that's what's sort of forced me to continuously sort of push and push and push. And so, yeah, so not long, like within less than 12 months, we sort of got to the point where you can only do so many mobile jobs in a day, logistically.
Mm.
And I did want to scale, you know, to much bigger than just doing the mobile thing. And so, I went to like a brick and mortar type storefront retail. And then we went to our second location probably about 12 months after that, maybe a bit less. Long story short, we started getting jobs in an adjacent town about an hour away. And I did a little bit of market research and realized that like there's, you know, not really much competition in that area. They weren't sort of focusing on the niche that I was focusing on, which was on-site commercial. They weren't doing 24-hour. They weren't opening Saturdays. And I was just like, fuck, no brainer.
Mm.
So I think once I discovered that, I think we all said and done, we had a shop ready to go in like the space of a couple of months. And then so we had that one ticking along, and then we scored a contract with a really big asphalting company down in Melbourne, which is a few hours south. And I went to the meeting about the contract with no intention of actually securing it. And after the meeting, they're like, "Sweet, so when can you start?" And well, this was like a 6-figure contract at the time. Like, you know, they were doing like 30K a month sort of thing. And no plan, no staff, no fucking workshop or anything. I was just like, yeah, sweet, we'll start next month. And I
Wow.
just overcommitted, bro. I was like, we'll fucking sort this shit out, you know, like we'll work it out. And I
Yeah.
was literally, no, like I don't have no shame in saying it. I literally had tears in my eyes, bro. Like when I drove out of the depot, I was just like pulled over and called the wife, and I was just like, oh fuck, we got
Yeah.
it.
That's amazing.
And dude, like. But so many lessons from sort of making a decision like that, you know, for the audience that's looking to get into business. Guys, I want you to really know that like what I did there was looking back now, we've had some issues with staff and team, and right now I'm sort of living away from my wife and baby because I've sort of got to go down to Melbourne and sort of steer the ship again because we've had some turbulence with staff, and I put it down to um, losing sight of like our values. So one of our values you can sort of see on the whiteboard at the back there is freedom, and the reason I got into business in the first place was to, like I said earlier, to obviously achieve financial freedom and, build a machine that would give me the power of choice with my time. And I sort of got in a bit of I got distracted, I guess you could say, and I sort of went into a bit of a chasing the revenue frenzy. And it was just like, it became more about like how much money could we turn over as opposed to why we got into business in the first place. Because really, I just built a fucking absolute machine that was like realistically a financial prison. Like I locked myself into, 3 locations within the space of like 3 years. And we started the freight company. We did a small acquisition. We took over a wholesale company as well. And, me being quite naive and, early days in business, like we're talking less than 4 years. And, I was the major constraint of like 4-5 different businesses. And, and it's the old story, you try and catch 2 rabbits and you end up catching none. I think we peaked at like nearly $1 million a month in revenue, and we had about 22 employees at the time across like all the businesses. And, I didn't have any layers of management or anything. So I was the bottleneck, and, things just slow, like it just shit started to turn sour pretty quick. We sort of like went, whoppa, whoppa, whoppa.
Yeah.
It's just like, and yeah, all I can put it down to is just like, people are just so important. And especially when we're talking about trade service businesses, automotive businesses. And, I think anybody that's listening would understand that the labor market at the moment is very tough. Finding people that are that have good intentions, finding people that have work ethic and passion and drive and ambition and all of those Gucci words, there's few and far between in our industry. Unfortunately, you'd probably find it a bit in detailing as well, same as tyres. Unfortunately, and look, I've got some great guys on my team now, but there's a lot of people in our industry that are in the industry by default. Not because they've.
That's a good term.
Yeah,
that's a good term to use.
Yeah, so
they're by default.
They are, man. And but look, there's I was there by default, bro. But I've always had that intrinsic drive that I don't think can be bought or taught. And so that sort of propelled me to keep going to where we are now. But it's taken us. Like we're nearly at the 5-year mark now. We've got a really good team at our main branch, and we're just about to. The last 12 months, we've been working on our franchise model, and our first franchisee is going to take over our Melbourne depot next month. So, which will be our very first franchisee, which is super exciting. And we exited from our second location December last year. We did a vendor's finance deal with one of our managers. And so he took that over. So it was a bit of a success for both of us, really, because he went from just being one of the boys on the floor to upskilling him to 2IC, to manager. And then, we said, dude, here's an opportunity. Keeping this store doesn't really align with our vision with the franchise. And, so here's an opportunity. Otherwise we're going to, sell it to somebody else. So, that's where we are now, man.
That's awesome. What a story, man. What a story. That's unbelievable to go from just working the floor to having 5 separate businesses essentially, and having to learn the hard way that staff and building a team is the most crucial part of building a business like this, and the most frustrating, as you know. Quality control is one thing. Managing a team of 22 is another thing. Man, props to you. How did you I mean, obviously you just had to learn quick in the deep end, but how did you figure
Mm.
out that, right, it was time to add systems and layers of management or like build a team, like a close-knit team, or what was the process to go from holy shit, where this is super messy to okay, let's put systems in place now?
Um,
Or was there no like pivotal moment at all? Was it like,
no, it was definitely a realization. It
yeah.
was definitely a realization. But I think a lot of business owners, they've reached their glass ceiling because as business owners, we seem to think that, we are the top dogs and we are the managers, we are the leaders, and we're the boss. And sometimes, and that's why you see a lot of people that really only get to, you know, um, 3, 4, 3 to 12 staff, one location. They do that for 20, 30 years because they are the major constraint, and they sort of they don't have the reality check or the ego check to go, fuck, I've got it this far, but really we need to implement somebody that's better than me at X, Y, and Z. And so for
Mm,
me, it was like a realization that like, I wanted to be this fucking business mogul. I wanted to be a big dog, and I can still be that person, because I'm the director, but maybe not in some of these leadership roles. That's not me. I'm very much like a visionary, a creative, and more than happy to get my hands dirty. I can jump in and help the boys. I'm one of those guys as well. But being a leader, like um, wouldn't say that I'm a bad leader. That'd be the wrong way to put it. But um, how to put it? I'm fuck. What am I trying to say here? I'd say I'm a good leader. I think that like I do lead the team well. And in from that point, but I'd say from a management perspective, oof, without shitting on myself too much,
I
I'm
think I
I'm
know
pro-
what.
I'm probably not thorough enough, you know, because
Mm,
I had too many things going on.
is it kind of like do what I say, not what I do?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Like, and so when we had some issues with our store down in Melbourne, sort of at the start of the year, so in my head straight away, I was just like, we don't need to worry about getting more tire fitters on. I'm just going to fucking go on the tools, and I'm going to
Mm,
find a business development manager, like a general manager, who's going to come in and they just drive sales, and then they oversee our Echuca location and our Melbourne location. Their front of house, they deal with the customers, all that sort of stuff. I'll just do the fulfillment for now. And, because like I knew that this person was going to do a better job at that than I would. And then what I'm doing with myself there is, essentially I'm just becoming a number, like a bit of a gap filler. And so I'm bringing that layer of management in. So he overlooks our manager in Echuca. He'll overlook our franchisee in Melbourne, and then he'll look
mm-hmm,
over new franchisees. He'll deal with customers when trying to find new accounts on the commercial side of things. And so he actually becomes almost like the face of like our business on a corporate level. And I continue, and then I'm essentially not like a constraint in the business at all.
mm.
I'm just really just a driver. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so like right
I f-
now, if I step out of like we just got a one-way ticket to Bali in September, and we're going to fuck off for about a month. And,
yeah.
I've got him in there. He's a layer that oversees our wholesale hub, the franchise hub, and our retail location. And, he can report to me. I can sort of follow him up and keep on top of him. Then we've got our manager, like sort of retail store manager. And so, if I come in, I can sort of support, I can train, I can guide, I can direct, but I'm not like a constraint.
Mm.
Like the
So
business
how do
the
you?
business isn't relying on me at all, apart from being an extra set
Absolutely.
of hands. Whether that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
helping the boys on the tool or out on the field, or whether that's helping management develop their sales skills, or leadership skills, or implementing KPIs for the workshop, or whatever it might be. I can sort of go into my zone of genius now, and actually
Mm.
drive the business as opposed to being the bottleneck for all the
Yeah,
problems.
yeah, for sure, man. I mean, we only have so many skills, right? And some of us are more skilled at certain things. And if we try to do all of the tasks, like we're going to be the jack of all trades and the master of none. Whereas
Yeah.
it's more important to hone on the skills that you can do, outsource or, bring people around you that can fill in the gaps.
Mm.
So that's good that you've realized that for sure. What's the payment structure look like for your managers? Do you like incentivize them with commissions or what?
Yeah. So actually from our retail, it's quite unique what we do with, our payment structure, especially more on the retail side of things. Obviously, I'm trying to get away from
Mm,
employees as quick as possible, moving into the franchise model. But
mm,
like for our main location up in Echuca, so between like our general manager, store manager, and then all the team, there'd be I've got a couple of other guys coming on, like 10 or 11 people, something like that. And so we've introduced team KPIs. So
yep.
what I've found as well is, you know, with these guys that are in their roles as by default, they don't really have anything to work towards, and they seem to think that they're just earning money for the boss. And
Mm,
so it's been like a massive project in my head to figure out a way to incentivize them to bring them along the journey as well.
yeah.
And so this is something I teach with my guys, like my clients, is like, um, we need to have team KPIs, something that we're all working towards a common goal. So like our manager, for example, we incentivize him with, fuel card, and like a pretty decent salary. And then he's
Yep.
obviously got key performance indicators. And then the rest of the team have the same key performance indicators as what he does, which is slightly higher. The benchmark's a little bit higher, but obviously they're going to be driving his KPIs, for him. And then, so, um, and then we've also got like a leaderboard, as well. So internally, the team, anything outside of what's booked
Mm,
in, if they upsell, any work, X, Y, and Z, then basically they put a tally mark next to their name. And then at the end of the month, whoever's got the most upsells, gets another KPI on top of that as well. So it's sort of like it's driving competition within the team. There's another one in there that incentivizes, punctuality. So if I'm really big on uniform, sort of
yep,
being
for
extra
sure.
henceforth. I think it's powerful,
Yep,
always for
100%.
branding. And so everyone in uniform, everyone on time and no sick days for the week. And then we got a KPI at the end of each week for that. So
Mm,
again, it's sort of like it's driving competition, it's driving people to want to beat others. And it's also keeping other guys accountable because it's just like, dude, we're working together as a team here. We want to hit these fucking KPIs. Like,
mm.
what are you doing, bro? You're fucking slacking. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we've calculated those KPIs so that if they hit them, and when we introduced the team KPIs, this was like an evening event for the whole organization. So we caught up,
Yeah,
we went through our team, like our business vision, mission, and values, where we want to go. We went through, we took our numbers. We need to hit, this is what sort of GP we need to do, like gross profit. If you're a listener, this is what sort of gross profit, which is obviously before
shit.
expenses, we need to do, to cover costs.
I wonder if that's
Um,
me.
what's that?
Oh, it just cut out on my end, but I think it was still rolling on your end, so we're still good.
We're under control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying, with the KPIs, like we made like a bit of an event of it. So,
Mm,
that evening we did dinner for the boys, and we went through our vision, mission, values for the business, and then we went through like our targets. Like, right, these are your KPIs. The reason your KPIs are this is because this is what's in it for you, and this is what our fixed costs are a month, for our business monthly. And you put a little bit of mayo on there, sort of thing, but they need to know the benchmark that we need to hit to cover costs, because they're going to very quickly realize, like, some months aren't all fucking mayo and Gucci bags. It's like
mm, mm,
sometimes we're sort of like bang on covering costs. Then you throw
mm.
in having to repair a tool or, something like that, or buy some additional stock. And, it's very, very quickly you're going to, be, it's not like you're making an abundance of money. And I think because your team don't really understand or comprehend, margins, and they think if you sell a
Yeah.
tire for $500, you can just put $500 in your back pocket. And it couldn't be further from the truth. It's such a top heavy business.
Yeah.
It is quite hard to be profitable. And, so they need to know, right, if we hit this, we've covered costs. If we hit this, the business makes a profit. Why do we need to make a profit? So that you guys can have really good equipment. Everyone can get paid really well. And, we can continue to be sort of like the best in the industry, the best in the area, because, we're investing in good people, we're investing in good equipment, so that we can do the job at the highest standard. And then if we hit above that, then everyone gets rewarded. So it's just like, and, I think that's,
That's a
everyone's
great
different.
way.
Everyone's got an opinion, but, you've really got to get creative these days. Gone are the days where, you've been given an opportunity to work for me, so just fucking rock up to work, buddy, and be happy. And
Yeah. You're privileged to be here.
Shout them fish and chips once a week, and you fucking, you have to get more creative than that. And, and the old saying as well, I guess, hire slow and fire fast. I have heard people say fire fast and fire slow. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Fire fast and hire fast. So, just get them in. You can soon figure out if they're the right fit or not, and get them out if they're not. But unfortunately, we don't really have the privilege in our industry to just be churning them over. We don't necessarily have people just lining up at the door. I think most people could probably agree with that. But still, I'd rather be working a lot harder, than sort of doing less and having the wrong person in the organization, because it's going to cost you a lot more money.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally agree with that. I haven't heard about the KPIs structure like that before, so that's awesome. A lot of guys that I work with are just starting out, or they're doing around 5 to 15,000 a month, and they're just wanting to clean up, generate more leads. But the main problem that I deal with clients that I work with is generating leads, right? So what, as a commercial business, where do you get all of your leads from? How do you generate leads? Are you doing paid advertising, social media marketing? What's the main flow?
So we've got two parts of our business. So we do retail up in Nachu, so tyres, automotive, mechanical, tire packages, full drive lift kits. But we also do agricultural, like on-site truck and tractors, all that sort of stuff. So we've got two hubs. Down in Melbourne is just commercial, so we only do commercial tyres. And the model that we're franchising is just on-site, commercial, truck and ag.
Okay.
Just to clarify that. And the reason that we've gone down the commercial path is because, it is actually, I call it transactional friction. There's a lot less friction for the transaction. With retail, you got to have storefront, you got to have a manager, you got email, Facebook, Instagram, fucking a million phone calls. You got customers walking in the door. You got to be open 8 till 5. That you churn on each customer, because you've got to have basically retail. It's just like they come in and get their tires. We've got to find a way to try and get them back on repeat, find a way to repeat business. Whereas commercial, it's like you've got that commercial account, you've got the deal in place. Sweet. I'll see you every single week, or I'll see you every fortnight, or I'll see you 10 times a month. And, there's no additional marketing. There's really just like the contact. There's a lot less contact. And the turnover is usually a bit higher. Margins are a bit slimmer, but you got to remember we don't really have to market. So the way that we generate
I imagine the customer's easy to deal with as well.
Way easier, bro, because it's just like once you figure each other out and you sort of set the expectations and all that sort of stuff, then it's pretty much like, job's right. You get some of the guys can just go there on site, do the job. They don't even have to talk to anyone, send an invoice, send a statement at the end of the month, hopefully get paid on time, and happy days. Whereas retailers, it's, you've got to have a lot more infrastructure to be able to pull it off. So for your audience, no, I think both would probably help. So you need to think about diluted time. Yeah. So like if you're a detailer, for example, or if you're an owner operator, like what I was doing, fitting tyres, on site, if you're fitting tyres or detailing cars for 70% of your day, then you're really only applying an hour or two a day to, sales and marketing. So my strategy was like, if you're serious about scaling, if you're really good at fulfillment, if you're really good at doing your fucking job, then find somebody that wants to drive those sales for you full time. So we've got a full time sales rep, and like that's his full time job. So 40 hours a week, we've got somebody just driving sales. That's all they're doing. Reaching out to commercial accounts, trying to onboard new accounts, cold calling, driving around, introducing himself, and so you just gotta, like, where can you put the eggs in your basket? I really think, in small business, especially local business, at the end of the day, we're talking about local business here, same as you guys with detailing. You sort of got to be within that, 30-kilometer sphere, 40-kilometer sphere. Nothing beats good old-fashioned traditional cold call prospecting in person. Walking into another business, g'day, how you going? My name's James. I just started this tire and automotive business. If there's anything I can do, having a clear UVP, so unique value proposition, which is something I always talk about. You need to have a unique value proposition. What separates your service from everybody else? Because there's a lot of details out there. There's a lot of tire guys out there. So if they're calling around looking for somebody to detail their car, what makes you so special when they're having a conversation with you on the phone? And you need to be able to articulate your UVP over the phone. So an example, like with the tire and automotive business that we've got, the retail business, it was pretty apparent to me that, like, if people are calling around getting prices, we've got about half a dozen competitors where we are, like in the 10-kilometer radius, and it's just like, well, we're all going to be pretty close in price. We're all selling the same shit. We all got access to the same products. So when people are calling around, how do we identify ourselves as like the best? And so we brought in our UVP, which is we do free tire repairs for life, free rotations for life, and we also offer free pickup and drop off anywhere locally. And and so those little trigger points there, it's just like, it sort of doesn't matter if we're a little bit more expensive than everybody else, because they're going to get free tire repairs for life. Nobody offers that. They're going to get free rotations, for their maintenance plan. So, and we explain, so they get more life out of their tires. And some of the boys say, "Oh, fuck, do we really want to give away a free puncher?" But it's just like, that's how we eliminate churn. That's how we get people back, because they come in for the free puncher. "Oh, dude, your brakes fucked. Oh, dude, your service sticker's 500 Ks overdue for a service." And so we're actually like getting that LTV, like long-term value of a customer, is becoming more powerful, because they're coming back for the additional perceived value. And
that's all it is like the perceived value of it. Probably doesn't take long for you to quickly repair a puncture.
100%.
And
that, I think that's what's made us sort of a dominant force in locally. Second to that, so having a clear UVP. So when you are actually getting leads, you're securing them. And probably the next thing after that would be really focusing on Google. Like, social media is fucking Gucci. You might get a shitload of views on a reel, but it doesn't really help if you're in Melbourne and the guy watching it's in Perth. So I'm a real big advocate for focusing on Google, and we've got 450 5-star reviews at our store, and our next competitor under that's only got like 110. So we've got like 4x the Google reviews from our second competitor, and then everybody else after that's under 100. And so the way that we've done that is through automation. So you can either get a software, which we invested in called Podium, or
Hmm.
most point of sale systems that you get, you'd be able to automate as well with a text message. If not, and you got to think with detailing, you're probably only dealing with, one, two, three, four clients a day. So you could probably just manually do it. You don't have to, like, especially if it's early days, you don't have to invest in shit.
Mm.
You do have to get your hands dirty and do the hard manual stuff at the very start. But as soon as you finalize those invoices, customers picked up the car, don't say, "Oh yeah, mate, can you leave us a Google review or put it on the invoice?" They won't do it. Some will, but
Mm.
very few. What you need to do is automate a text message. So as soon as they walk out the fucking door and get in their car and they go, "Fuck, how nice is this?" You got the air freshener, smells grouse, everything's
Mm.
happy. Boom, they get a text message and it's got a link to your Google review in the text message. So then they go, "Oh, fuck, no brainer." So you're reducing the friction for somebody to actually leave a review on your page,
Absolutely.
and
Making
that,
it the whole process as seamless as possible.
yeah, and so that, I think developing a Google, having a clear UVP that makes us an undeniable choice from the rest, and from a social media point, um, I'd say the um, doing the collaboration giveaways. So like with another local business, because you got to remember this is local business. So we're trying to attract locals. We did some outrageous giveaways when we first started the business. We went to one of the most we went to one of the coffee shops that had the most amount of Instagram followers, and we said, "Dude, what are you going to give me for 365 coffees?" And so he did a deal for 365 coffees, and then we did a giveaway 1 year supply of coffee, and we did the collaboration with the coffee shop. And all we're going to do is share this, follow this, yada yada yada, take three friends, and do literally like fucking thousands of of comments and like hundreds of shares. And it's just like that was just we did one nearly every month. So we did a year supply of beer, so we did like 52
Oh,
slabs.
wow. Yeah.
52 slabs of Corona. We did
You're finding out what your
just,
target audience wants as well. They want beer.
yeah. What does everybody want? And so we did quite a lot of those giveaways. And so from a social media standpoint, those giveaways did really well for us. Like they really put us on the map locally. Like literally, I was like that guy. Go down to fucking Woolworths and they'd be like, "Oh, you're the guy that gives all away the shit." Like I was like the local fucking Adrian Patelli, bro, but just giving away like
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
fucking beers.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they'd probably be my three nuggets for like generating leads, or holding on to leads, because obviously if they're calling you, they've obviously generated, but like actually snagging it, converting it into an actual customer would be that, having a unique value proposition. I'm not too sure what that looks like in your industry. You'd have to get creative, but
Mm.
yeah, really focus on that.
Yeah, 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 man, that's amazing. Super cool. I like the point where it's like, if you want to like start and just go out and get business, go around local businesses and introduce yourself and the service that you can provide. I teach all
Yeah,
my guys to do that. It's not
yeah,
scalable, but it's brand awareness. And I don't say it, the objective is not to go and get new clients. The objective is to get familiar with the community, the local
yeah.
businesses, get comfortable talking about your business, introducing yourself, and as a byproduct, you'll probably get some clients. But super powerful, just networking, getting out there, talking to other businesses.
100%, man. And it builds confidence, Like I remember I
Yeah.
used to be shitting myself, like, and I tell this story all the time. When I first started the business, like I didn't have 8 hours a day of work, but I was on the road for 8 hours a day, just anywhere where I could see like a bit of gear or somebody that had a few utes or, a couple of trucks. I'd just pull in, have a business card ready. G'day, how you going? My name's James. And I think that, like, just the shell shock factor alone from people, because they just don't expect it anymore. It's so old school and
Mm.
prehistoric
Yes.
that when
Yeah.
they see, especially if you're a young bloke or a young girl, like, um, other people in business, even me now, like I'm still quite young, like, if I see somebody come in and they got the balls to come in and introduce himself and, shake my hand, look me in the eye, and
Mm.
good old fashioned stuff like that, I go, fuck yeah, I'll give him a go.
Yeah.
We've got some really good friends now here that opened up one of the new gyms, and Shane and Laura. And when they first opened up, they moved all the way over from an adjacent town, and they just came down to the shop, introduced themselves. Hey, just let you know, we're just opening up a new gym, and boom, straight away, dude, I signed up to just to support them because I
There you
respected
go.
that hustle,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
other people in business are going to respect that hustle. They're going to be like, fuck
Yeah.
yeah,
They can see that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, 100%. It's with the detailing side of things. Like if it was me, like, I would really be trying to focus a bit more on commercial, getting into some of those, government bodies and, places that have got like commercial fleets,
Even dealerships
multiple
can be good.
dealerships, just, yeah, a bit of overflow work for the dealerships. Um, you'll get a little bit uncomfortable, but it works.
It's a massive industry, man. Like the automotive industry is huge. Like there's like nearly 2 cars per every household in the US. So it's
Yeah.
just like and it's only growing as well.
Yeah.
So I want to touch back on how you transitioned into your first location from being mobile, like service based, to securing that first location. What was that whole process like for you?
So I'm a pretty impatient dude, and like I was going really hard at the start. Like I said, I was just calling in everywhere, trying to get on board new accounts and new farms, and I was just getting to the point where I felt like I was almost letting people not. I wasn't letting people down, but I felt like I was very close to getting to the point where I'd almost be doubling up and would be able to service the people that I sort of made promises to.
Mm.
And so it was a bit of a no-brainer decision. I was just like, do I want to keep growing, or am I just going to keep doing this and making good money, which I was. And I was just like, no, we got to find a retail store. And I think somebody told me to go and talk to Hilly, who's still my landlord. We've moved again since, but he's got the location we're in now as well. And I went down and spoke to him. He goes, "Come have a look at this." And I went down the back to this big shed, two roller doors, and I was just like, "Fuck, this is huge." And I looked at Jemima and I was like, "Fuck, I don't know if we can pull this off." And I was like, "Oh, how much?" And he's like, $350 a week. And I was just like, "Oh, fuck, I don't know if we can pull it off." It's a fair bit of coin, you know what I mean? I was stressing, bro. I was
Yeah.
sweating bullets over
Yeah.
$350 a week, and we just committed to it, man. And I didn't want to open up to on a retail level until I knew that I'd be able to. And this is the thing with retail: if you do decide to go into brick and mortar, the only way to be successful is if you have consistency, and especially with your operating times. So I see a lot of small businesses just suck balls and just go nowhere when they do today they're opening at 9. Tomorrow they're not open at all. Oh, I've got something on with my kids this afternoon and we're closing at 4. Because eventually your customers lose trust because, especially when in retail, when people just want to blow in, talk to somebody, have a bit of a look.
Yeah.
If it only has to happen 1 or 2 times where they go, "Oh, fuck, is this bloke ever open?" And they might have just closed for the afternoon or whatever the excuse is. But I just knew that if we're going to commit to being retail, I needed to be in a position where I'd be able to service the on-site stuff because that was what we sort of focused on, but also be able to open from 8 till 5. And so I think that was when I was looking to put on my first employee, and then second employee. So I think I had two staff members, and then I committed to opening up retail, and then obviously having that on-site serviceability at the same time. So we had that sort of hybrid model where we could do mobile or we could do retail. You could bring it to us, and then lucky we sort of did keep the 2 models because then COVID hit, and I just bought a fucking new truck, and I was just like, thought this is it. We're going down, and it ended up, sort of serving its purpose. And we were fortunate to do a bit of on-site stuff during COVID and kept the wheels turning.
Okay.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah. Couple government payouts from the government, or
dude, I don't think we did because because we were like essential service or whatever it's called. I don't think we.
okay.
I don't think we were. I don't think we even
You
applied
just
for
got
it.
to keep operating.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
very fortunate, man. But and it was a crazy time for us because where we live is like on the border of Victoria and New South Wales, and our business is in New South Wales, and our home is in Echuca in Victoria. So they literally it taken about an hour to get over the bridge because they'd have to check if you had a pass, a vaccination pass
Oh,
to go
yeah.
Victoria to
Yeah.
New South Wales. So it was, yeah, an hour to get over the bridge and an hour to get back over. And so if we had a job over in Victoria, it was chaos, mate. It was absolute chaos. But we ended up getting it sorted. We kept trading and happy days, man.
That's awesome. Do you think that that was the biggest risk you've taken in your business?
Um,
Or was it securing that big contract?
um, yeah, I think um, probably the Melbourne was the biggest risk for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's obviously 3 hours away.
Yeah.
And I employed somebody that I didn't know, really
Yeah.
didn't know them. And um, I wasn't in a position to have my finger on the pulse as much as I would have liked. Um, yeah, I think it probably would have been, yeah, making it like it's all risky, man. Like I think
Mm. Yeah.
we,
How do you manage your risk? Like, what do you do when, like, to make decisions, especially like decisions that may cause like a massive upset if it goes wrong?
Dude, I've really just been learning through pain, to be honest. Through being quite like I've always been one of those dudes. It's just like, if somebody tells me the stove's hot, I was just like, "Fuck off, mate. Let me touch it."
Yeah.
And like it's worked in some areas, and like to be honest, like um, it's made me the operator that I am today. I've fast tracked so far beyond a lot of people. Sometimes when we're having a shit day or a
Yeah.
shit month or something like that, I say to my wife, like, babe, what we've done in the last 5 years, I said, like, people don't achieve in a fucking lifetime.
Yeah.
So we need to, stop being so hard on ourselves sometimes. But it's my wife's a lot more sort of a bit more calculated and I'd say a bit more um, she thinks of the risk a lot more than I do. I've always just had a bit of a mentality that like we'll always figure it out,
Mm.
and sometimes we need to say that to ourselves, And at the moment, to this day, we've got 100% strike rate of just figuring it out. So like
Yeah. Yeah.
no
It's
matter what gets thrown at us, at the time you think, oh, everything's fucked. This is going to be hard. Tough few months. You lose a staff member, you lose a manager, or when we're over in Bali, when we came back, we like lost our whole team at our second location. So we had like we've been through the ringer, bro, to be honest, and
mm.
but to this day, we're at 100% strike rate of getting out the other side. And so we need to sort of come back and go, fuck, we need to back ourselves here. Yes, it's like a little bit
Yeah.
frustrating. Yes, it's going to cost us a lot of money or whatever. But like, have a look at the lessons. As long as we don't give up, then there's no failure here. There's only lessons.
Mm.
And that does take a bit. Like, I'll be honest, dude, with what sort of happened to us down in Melbourne at the start of this year, like most sane individuals would have just been like, fuck this. And they would have just like, pack it up, boys. But
Yeah.
I just knew, I said, like, we literally spent probably $40,000, developing our franchise model. It's right there, ready to go. And it's just like, if we just, if we just pack her up now, then, that dream's just going to be, the old saying, we haven't come this far to come this far.
That's right. And the story wouldn't be as good, Like we're just building our stories. All we're doing is writing our book, right? And the more mistakes you make, the more interesting the book is going to be.
Yeah. 100%, man. And that's what I said to my wife. I was just like, babe, I said, like, this is just, I'm just chucking this into my fucking belt with one of the, just adding it into my fucking belt, bro. And like my tool belt, because like, this is just turning me into even more and more of a savage each fucking time this happens. And, I keep becoming a better operator, and like the story is only going to get, more powerful and like, I'm only going to develop more authority in,
Yeah.
what it is that I want to do in the future by, going through these hard times, we've had some win streaks where it just looks all too easy. We've had some absolutely fucked nightmare streaks. And,
Mm,
like we've learnt the most going through the shit, and I think going through those shit times really, really makes you refine and go back and believe even more in your values and the vision, you know,
yeah.
and all that sort of stuff was a bit wishy-washy, not very important at the start.
Mm,
The more we go through the process and the more that we go through hardship and grow as operators, the more we come back to the importance of our values and the vision and the mission.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you die with, nothing in your hands. You can't take your money or your cars or your houses to the grave. It's those, I feel like you said, it's your values. And for me, it's family, freedom. Working my ass off and something that I don't like is just, it doesn't make sense. I don't know how that's the sane thing to do in life. Go to school, go to university, and then get a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like the whole
No.
system just seems like it was made for another generation and not ours, man. Like it's
Yeah.
just completely fucked up. I truly believe that we are like, you create your own reality, and like you're just like a spitting image of someone who has just gone and done it, focused and just focused on that vision, made mistakes, learned, because you clearly have like the ability to look at your mistakes from an outside perspective and then move on and learn. Super inspirational, but it's just like confirms that we are the creators of our own reality, right? Like whatever vision you have is not going to be like a straight line to it, but you can get there if you stay focused and consistent. So man, super inspirational, eh? Do you think
Yeah.
do you think that you're going to continue to like the use? I want to know like what made you go down the franchise model and not the license model? Like the Alex Hormozy gym launch style.
Yeah. I guess just comes down to like control.
Mm,
Licensing. It's very easy to pull off licensing, but it's a lot of grey area.
mm,
And what I've found over the last few years, like the more loose you are with, the more loose you are, like the quicker things can come unstuck. And
yeah,
so, like,
and it's
obviously,
yeah, it's your
we have.
brand on the line.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, I don't want to like go really hard at scaling this and, getting to a national level, which is the dream. And
Mm,
then it all being on a house of cards because we haven't got the right infrastructure in there. I've
yeah,
done that. That's what I've been doing for the last few years, trying to scale independently and having like, finding a manager that, wasn't really the right fit. And yep, he'll do. He's got a pulse and he's done dive before. It'll be sweet. And not spending the time with them as much as I should, and really developing them as like because we've just done it too quickly. But the
mm,
reason we decided to go down the franchise route, like originally, like the vision was to sort of like the McDonald's model. I wanted to
yeah,
buy the real estate, start the business and then sell the business, keep the real estate. But I wanted to grow to like 20 stores independently, and I soon came to the
mm,
realization that very quickly you run out of capital. Cash flow starts to nip you in the bud, and then very quickly I found out that like you, it's going to be very hard to find the right people to be able to pull it off. Because every problem that we've had, every setback we've had has come down to the people. And I'm definitely not going to sit back and say like, um, you know, you always have to blame yourself. So it obviously came down to me just not being
mm,
the right leader to be able to pull it off with these
mm,
people. I thought that I thought that I was doing the right thing by, like I even incentivized, both the managers that let me down in those locations. I incentivized them with, um, you give me 12 months and I'll give you the business. Like,
mm.
So like fuck me, bro. Like what
And like,
like
yeah,
like what else can I do here? But it was just like wrong culture fit. I probably
yeah.
at the end of the day, you've got to blame yourself and anyone that's in business. Like you can't just blame you can't blame anyone else but yourself at the end of the day. It always stems from you failed in some way in your leadership qualities. And whether that's in the hiring process, whether that's in the the accountability process, whether that's in having regular performance reviews, whether that's whatever it might, whether that be in training, whatever it is, you are the director of the business and you fucked it up. Okay. Yes, this person's
Mm,
contributed to the fuck up, but it is still you and you still have to take ownership over the fuck up. And, you can't just be like, oh, this person, completely fucked my business because
mm,
yeah, they did, but so did you. And so,
mm,
until you have that mindset where everything is your fucking fault and you just need to get better, you will just perpetuate in the same fucking cycle and you probably won't really progress as a leader, as a business owner. And, that's the harsh truth. And that's why I put my hand on my heart and just say like, we are where we are because of me and my wife.
mm.
And
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I said that to my wife and all the shit we've done in Melbourne. I was like, babe, this is us. This is on us. This is our operation.
Yeah,
It's our
yeah.
responsibility, and we need to fucking do what we need to do to get it sorted. Um, so I
I
was
find it
just
hard to do that, to step back and be grateful for what I've done. Like often as I hear it from like a lot of other entrepreneurs as well, like to be grateful, to show gratitude for what you've done and accomplished, because we're always looking at the next goal, the next vision, and
Mhm.
it's hard to just like take a look at what we've already achieved and be like, wow, we've actually done amazing things.
Yeah,
But no, I don't want to stop and like tap myself on the shoulder. I've got this to achieve now,
yeah.
you know?
Oh, dude, I think we're all guilty of that, man. Like,
Yeah.
it was only just recently I caught up with a friend of mine, James. He was a neighbor of mine about 10 years ago before I went backpacking. And I was working at a tyre shop at the time down in Melbourne, and he was my neighbor. And it was my dream back then to have my own shop. And I just wanted
Yeah.
I wanted to have a tyre shop. That was it. That was the fucking pinnacle. And then we've obviously gone on to achieve all this. And we caught up for the first time in 10 years for dinner only a few weeks ago. And he's just like, bro, he's just like, how does it feel? I said, what do you mean? And he's like, you've literally I remember your goal was to like have your own time business one day, and you've literally like fucking 10x'd it. And I was just like,
Yeah.
fuck, yeah. And I'm still not fucking, I'm still not satisfied. What's going on here?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
a curse.
oh, dude, it is, man. I've been trying to since he said that. Literally asked my wife. I've been trying to do the gratitude journal, in the mornings
Mm-mm.
just to sort of like prime myself a bit better.
Yeah.
And especially when you're going through shit ones, it's just like just write down, like what am I grateful for, um, you know, and I write in there, I'm grateful for. And it might be like a staff member fucking this up completely because it's allowed me to realize I need to do this. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's just like
Yeah.
having gratitude for like even the fuck ups that happen in your life so that you can like learn from them because it's going to make you better. So it's not an
Mm.
indirect thing to be happy about, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's not a direct thing to be happy about, but it's an indirect thing to be happy about. And yeah, but like, dude, um, it's a journey, bro. Like you're developing yourself is because
Yeah.
I'm a big believer. You need to become the man that's worthy of the vision.
Yeah.
And
100%. You need to become the man that can handle that vision, right?
yes, 100%. If you don't carry yourself in a way that is like somebody that would be in that position that you aspire to be
Yeah.
in, then like
Yeah.
you're not just gonna get there. You have to be that
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you conduct yourself when you walk down the street, how you treat other people, how you treat your family, how you keep things organized, what your morning routine is,
Mm.
your habits and your rituals, what you put into your body.
Mm. It's
Like
all a
all of these things.
reflection.
It's just like it's a constant compound. It's not like that's what I say to guys that are trying to develop their mindset and become healthier individuals and all that sort of stuff. It's like, I didn't just fucking snap my fingers and just go like, yeah, sweet, I'm going to do fucking, cardio in the morning, I'm going to do cold plunge, I'm going to meditate every day. I didn't just wake up and just start doing that. Like, I've been on the self-development journey for like 12 years. And that's what I said, like, I've been this person for 12 years in my head, but I haven't projected what needed to happen on the outside until sort of until the last few years. And because it takes everybody's at different chapters of their life, and it takes a very long time to compound what you need to in your life to become that person. And I'm still constantly just trying to become better all the time, because I know that like I'm at this particular ceiling right now because I'm not worthy of the next step yet as a man, and why. And I need to figure out why. I need to work on those skills. I need to develop my mindset, purify myself even more.
Would you, yeah, for sure. Would you agree that it's 80% psychological, 20% tactical strategies?
Oh, dude, I think it's 80% your belief system. Whether that's delusion or whether that's just, I didn't have these skills, bro. Like I didn't have the skills that I've got now. Like when I'm talking to you with like conviction, like on this podcast about, and giving advice to clients and stuff like that, I didn't just like, I didn't read a book about it's not from books or podcasts or any of that.
Click your fingers and you've got the skills.
It's developing the skills through like having backing myself and having the belief that I could figure it out, and trying to overachieve, and then getting hit in the face really fucking hard by reality, and then and then trying again, but this time trying to duck to the side a little bit, and stay clear of that punch, and that's the only way.
I mean, people. It is. People look at, successful business owners like yourself, and they go, oh, well, he's different. He's got something different, right? Like he's special. He was taught that from a young age, and it's like, it really isn't, man. And we're all just people, right? We've all just like learned these skills through trial and error and just being consistent and focused. Like I was speaking with a guy just over the weekend who's doing $364,000 a month USD with his business, and he's just a normal person, super relatable, super humble guy, similar age to us, came from nothing, and it's just like you're talking to a normal person, bro. And it kind of opened my eyes to realize like that's exactly what every successful person is. They're not special. They don't have any special powers. Like they just set their goals, they achieved them, they made mistakes, got through it, and kept working.
Yeah, 100%, man. And just like you said earlier, just having that undeniable desire that's like, it's look. I know everyone's different, but like, it's you've got to just really want it, like and I think you've either got to really want it, or you've got the pain has to get. I heard this. I can't remember who said it. So I might fuck it up a little bit for you. Sorry, boys, but when the pain outweighs your current circumstances, no, when the pain outweighs the work that you have to do to get there, then that's when you'll start to change. Does that make sense? So like when you being so fucking frustrated about your position in life and how you live and your standards and your finance, your income and all that sort of stuff, or like if you're overweight and you're just like, the pain is just that fucking taxing on your body that you're just like, you have this like, it's just, but that it's going to take, like, we'll talk about fat people for a sec. So like, just like, cause I've been fucking out of shape, I've been fat, all that sort of stuff. And now I'm obsessed with just like, training and exercise and eating healthy and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you get to a point where it's just like, I cannot handle being this person anymore. It's just like, I'm done. I know it's going to be a hard road ahead, going to the gym every day and being strict with my diet and all that sort of stuff. But like, that is going to be so much easier than tolerating being the fucking person I am right now. And
Mm,
I think, and like even right now, I have like a unbelievable burn inside of my body where I'm just like, just like I have to get to, the next level. And
mm,
when I say the next level, like I just like, I want to be like, I want to be wealthy. I want to be able to
mm.
do whatever I fucking want to, on my terms, in my time, with the people that I
Yeah.
want. Like, and I think
I don't think it's a bad thing to
not,
say I want to be wealthy. It's not
no,
about. There's there's a stigma
yeah,
when I was growing up, especially like my community. It was like being rich was like for other people,
yeah,
and it was like almost like taboo to speak about being rich and being wealthy. Where I think, but then surrounding myself with like-minded people and people on your level who speak about being wealthy on a regular basis, it's like
mm,
that's the mindset. That's what I was taught not to do.
mm,
But in hindsight, it's actually the thing that I should have been doing.
mm. Yeah, man, and it's all about like your circle, your own perspective, like,
Mm,
and that's why not everybody's rich because most people don't like talking about it.
yeah.
And whereas I love talking about it. It's not like it's not a flexing thing. Like
Yeah.
I think that's where there's like this weird misunderstanding where people think when they're talking numbers and
Mm,
talking about success and wealth and all that, where they think that like it's like you're bragging or something, and it's just like
yeah.
it's a yardstick to be able to measure a certain skill set that you have that nobody else can obtain.
Yeah.
That's all it
That,
is. That is
yeah.
all it is. It is a skill, and because
Yeah.
like we were talking about a mutual person earlier, Dan. It's just like he is working 15 hours a week, 15 hours a
Mm,
week, and he's profiting probably more than most businesses will ever even turn over in a year per month,
yeah. 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 Yeah.
per month. Like, and he's only working 15 hours. And why? It's not because he's working extremely hard or he's fucking, listened to a certain podcast or read a certain book. He's just tweaked. He's had, um, opportunity vehicles come his way and he's latched onto opportunity vehicles. He's ridden
Yeah.
in that vehicle to a certain point and you go, oh, fuck, I think might need to, and Alex Hormozy talks about this, really knowing when to push or pivot. And he has just been really good at guiding his opportunity vehicles to constantly push pivot in the right areas to a point now where he's
Mm,
refined his skill set to what he does now. And does what, like $300,000 a month at 90% profit margins or something like that. And it's just like that. It's bananas, but it's just like the conversation is like talking to people like that. And then talking to other people that are just like, 9 to 5ers and shit. They're just like, it's, it's,
yeah.
it's just different worlds, man.
You
Different
gotta, I
worlds.
feel like you do, but you gotta figure out a way to put yourself in the room with these types of people as well. People that you aspire to be like. For example, if you're wanting to start a tire business, or you're wanting to start a brick and mortar business, or you're wanting to start a car detailing business, or you're wanting to start, an online business, you need to put yourself in the room with people who have already done it and are successful at it. There's no point in going to learn off someone at university who's trying to teach you business who doesn't even own a business,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
That you need to put yourself in the room with those types of people.
100%. And not just put yourself in the room with them. Like I talk about this quite a lot, like with my clients. We get some guys that rock up on the call and, I've got to extract information out of them. I've got to be like, all right, dude, tell me about your week. What are your problems? What can we work on?
Mm,
I say powerful questions get powerful answers. You're not going to get any value out
yes.
of me unless you extract it out of me. And so like,
Mm,
and what I always say is you could be in an elevator with a billionaire, but the value with that ride in that elevator is completely fucking worthless if you don't know the questions to ask, you know?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
just,
That's such a good perspective.
and so you need
Yeah.
you need to really, like, if for any of the young bloods that are like aspiring business owners, or if you're early days in business, um, do this exercise. Like after the podcast, write down, like, right, if I was in a fucking elevator with a dude that had a fucking 7-figure detailing business, what would be the questions that I would ask? And like, you need to know how to answer better questions. And I think I've never been afraid of doing that. Like along my business journey, like customers, you soon realize, certain customers, they're doing pretty well. They run a good business or whatever. And I fucking latch onto them, bro. I was just like,
Mm,
talk to them, try and get, a bit of a,
yeah.
how do they carry themselves? How do they talk to other people? How do they, and, you can see, because if they pay on time, if they're driving a nice car, if they present themselves well, they're involved in the community, and so I've always really tried to extract value out of them. Not in a fucking
Mm,
pest kind of way, but it's just
cynical
sort of like
way.
really trying to level up myself as a young bloke as well, because it can be hard, when you're young and trying to get in the room, like you said, with
Yeah.
people that are moving the needle. Because like most people our age, it's not even really on the radar to be where we are now. Like it's this, they're sort of just, got the mortgage and the kids, and got the couple of cars on tick, and we'll do this for the next 30
Mm,
years. Whereas we're just like,
mm,
fuck that, bro. We got to escape the matrix somehow, and
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
just, it's a different beast. So you've got to try and find, just grab onto the, like, right, who's up there? Right, grab onto him. Sweet. What could, what can I do? How can I provide value to you so that I can learn from you, or whatever it might be. And it's you'd definitely be able to find that with the detailing game. Like, you'd have some fair distinguishing factors as to, who's doing pretty well and all that sort of stuff, depending on the car that you're working on. Like, don't be
Mm,
afraid. Don't just make it transactional. Build a relationship with your customers.
yeah.
And like some of those relationships that I've had with my customers are just like priceless, like absolutely priceless. And you'll find that if they see that you're keen, they see that you're eager, they see that deep internal drive that you've got, like
Mm,
and if they're a good person and they're present, and they're aware, they don't lack awareness and all that sort of stuff, they'll be able to, they'll nurture you a little bit as well. Like, I've
yeah.
lent on customers and that have established relationships and all that sort of stuff. And what do you think of this? Or just called them off the fly. Hey mate, this has happened. How would you deal with it? And it's, yeah, but you've got to be prepared to put yourself out there, like we said earlier, with the cold call prospecting. It's a good way to just to let down your guard, remove the ego, and just be a bit of a fucking,
Mm,
just be a bit of a chump. Like, you know, if you're not, if you think you're the top G, and you think you got it all sorted, then you'll soon find out that you don't. You can learn from anybody. I feel like I learned
yeah.
from some of my clients that, I learned from it. You've got to learn from everybody. Everybody has got a unique experience, and
For sure.
there's
Have you
something
got
that you
any?
can.
Have you got anyone specific that you've been mentored by, or anyone that you look up to for guidance?
Um, there was a guy, terrible story, local fella who he started off as a customer of mine, and he just recently died from a heart attack
Mm,
doing a voluntary. It was a fire. Is in the local fires. Had a
okay.
heart attack on site, and this dude, man, he had he. What I admired about him the most was he had all the pillars lined up. Because you'll see, and I keep an eye on this with people. It's like you see people that get around, they've got like washboard abs, they're shredded, they look amazing, but they're driving around a fucking beat up old Volkswagen Golf, But then you've got people that are like absolutely killing it, upper echelon, financially sorted, but they're, cholesterol and blood pressure's through the roof.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They got type 2 diabetes, they're fucking overweight, and this guy, or they're wealthy and they don't have anything to do with the community. You know what I'm talking about. It's sort of like
Yeah,
they
exactly.
only have one or two pillars lined up, whereas this guy, Bowlesy, his name was, he old school tradie, started off a roofing business down in Melbourne, and scaled that to, I think he's got, or I think he had about 115 employees. And then he
Oh.
started up like an olive grove up here as like a bit of a hobby thing, multiple different streams of income. Also, he looked incredible, extremely healthy guy for his age. Very social, treated people like a mate. The way that he spoke to other people was just like mind blowing. He was just a really nice character.
Mm.
He volunteered at the local fire brigade. He like this guy just had all the pillars lined up. He had work life balance where he was a family man, worked with his family a lot, went away on trips with his mates. But I just was just like in awe of this bloke. And to hear that he passed was just like, what the fuck? Like people like that aren't supposed to die.
Mm. Yeah.
But in terms of but that's a sort of in real life mentor, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But in terms of like in the online sphere, like, I know it's such a typical thing to say, like, but like Joe Rogan, man, same sort of thing. I feel like he's got the pillars lined up. He's got his health dialed in. He's got, he's an open-minded individual. He's quite open to, being a bit fucking weird, and also, he's quite dialed into his masculine.
He's very humble. That's what I like about him. He's very extremely humble, but he doesn't give himself enough credit for how intelligent he actually is.
Yeah, yeah. He's just one of the bros. Like literally, like you know, and that's why he's become so successful. Just authentically, just being one of the boys, and he's become a success. And I think, I think that's super important. And I'd really pride myself on that. Where, I feel like no matter how successful I become, I feel like if I caught up with the boys, or, caught up with the family at Christmas time, I'm not going to be like that, snobby rich guy. I think you've got to yeah. You just got to like, cause you were there once, and, anybody that stops me, like, or hits me up for a coffee locally or anything like that, I try and, sweet, let's grab a coffee. And, I just, you got to pass it down. Otherwise, cause you know what it's like when you're down there and you're just like, fuck, you need somebody like that in your life. But yeah, the online sphere, like, it's hard, like Hermosi, obviously, like all the big dogs, like it's just, it is hard.
They're there, you know who they are. They're easy to find these days. And, it's not hard to get mentorship, really.
I have really struggled to get like a proper, like I am sort of on the hunt. I would really like a old school traditional mentor in my life, like a bit of a mogul, that's in like traditional business and property and all that sort of stuff. Like I just haven't really,
Henry Ford.
Hey, yeah.
Like a Henry Ford style.
Yeah. But it's very hard to, and you might find the same thing once you get to, it's like, I'd say like I'm right in between in the cusp of like, I'm sort of doing better than your average punter. I'm definitely not upper echelon. I'm still one of the boys, but, and so I'm in this no man's land at the moment where I'm just like, finding it very hard to find that circle. I've got some good friends that are in business here. Don't get me wrong, but we're all at a pretty similar level in business, I'd say. I've really want to try and find, people that are doing way better, so it's the old story, big fish, small pond. It's just, doesn't really get you much further than where you are. And that's why we're going to Bali in September for the month. To really try and, we're just going all in, with the online business and just
that's amazing. It's that's how I reached out to you. I've seen you online popping up a little bit, helping clients grow their businesses, and similar sort of story, I suppose. I think you've done a lot more than what I've done, but just the goal of helping people grow their small businesses and get the mindset right. It's amazing, dude. Bali is sick, man. I've been here for the last 3 months. We're about to go back to New Zealand. At the moment.
Oh, yeah. Bro. Yeah, right. In Canggu?
Yeah, in Canggu. Yeah. So I just went and attended Dan Bolton's mastermind. It was intensive. And In Bali, yeah. Oh, phenomenal, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
phenomenal. The people there just as amazing. Like, just like I said, putting yourself in the room, it was just
Yeah.
like the sessions and like the information that I learned was great. But just being surrounded by entrepreneurs on the same level that are just
Mm,
like even on like another level,
mm.
like what you were saying, just trying to find that circle.
I did work with Will Brown for I did a month with Will Brown.
Okay, yeah, I met him. Yeah, yeah,
He's really good. He and to be honest, like it was expensive, but
yeah.
his like online portal, fuck, I got some value out of that dude. Like
Mm,
and the thing that I found with investing in mentorship is because I would have invested in the last 12 months probably like fucking $60,000 in
mm,
paid mentorships with three maybe three different guys. Um,
yeah,
and like best feedback I can give when investing in mentorship is like you're going to get like it's really just about unveiling something that's right in front of your face. I feel, I feel like you reach like psychological sort of barriers or like glass ceilings where you're sort of like fuck, I'm sure there's a way that I can figure this out, but you just can't quite
yeah,
put it
yeah.
together. And then they just go, try this, try that, try that. Oh, did you know that? And you're like, fuck. And then all of a
Mm,
sudden it's just like, and then you go to that next level and and I think it's the same with, with my clients. And that's what I try and say. It's just like, I'm going to show you some things in this mentorship and you're going to apply them. And then that's going to, take you to that next level. But then you might need somebody else to mentor you through the next phase of your business journey, because it comes with a whole another set of problems. And,
yeah,
depending on how quick you want to move, I think paid mentorship is just like, it's completely changed my whole perspective on, you know, life and business and how
yeah.
to get there. And it's
Yeah, yeah.
incredible.
Go on. Yeah, like I mean, it always used to be. I mean, my mum, if she should never pay for an online course or like some online mentorship because she thinks it's all a scam.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know half the time what I do, right?
Yeah.
So it's just that generation, right? Now it's still sort of that mentality sort of flickered down a little bit, but I think a lot of people are starting to wake up to the idea that you can get alternative education online rather than going to university, and you
Yeah.
can learn how to achieve the same skills in a faster amount of time
Yeah.
by people who have done it, right?
Yeah. What are they? I hear a statistic the other day. The online education industry is going to be worth $400 million, no, $400 billion
Yeah,
by 2025 or 2026 or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
But
It's
because
massive.
it's just like it just makes so much more sense. Like the like what you're teaching, man. It's just like you can teach somebody the skills to go and make, 10, 20K a month doing detailing. And like, here's the blueprint to essentially
Yeah,
like avoid all the mistakes that I've made, get there heaps
yeah,
quicker by doing this. It's just like, it's a no brainer, whereas like
yeah,
people are going to university and spending tens of thousands of dollars and putting themselves in debt and paying it off, over, years to come. It's just like, it's fucking wild, man. It's like, that is the scam. This is the
yeah,
crazy, this is
yeah,
the
yeah,
crazy
yeah,
thing. Like majority of society don't realize that they've been indoctrinated into the biggest fucking scam of all time of
yeah,
education. Um, and then basically like gets conditioned to go into the system, work for the man, fucking the Australian dream, basically just put yourself in as much debt as possible to keep up with the Joneses and then work your entire life, pay off that debt. And then by the time you're 60, 65 years old, you're old and fucked and you can't go on any adventures or anything anyway. And then you handball your fucking assets to your kids. It's just like,
yeah,
what? Like, what? Dude, this
yeah,
is like, but that's the biggest scam of them all, and nobody talks about it,
yeah,
and then
sure.
they think that you're gonna like, investing in like 10K in a, to upgrade your skills so that you can actually earn money, or like 5 times that sort of money in 12 months, or you know what I mean? Like it's just,
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah, I feel like when I was at that age, like 18 to 25, every time I'd say like, oh, university is a scam, like to my peers and that, they'd think I was crazy. Like they wouldn't understand. Like, no, I'm going to go get a house and get a mortgage. That's what you need to do. But now, like when I talk to similar people, it's like, oh, okay, like you've kind of proven yourself that, yeah, that system doesn't work. And a lot of other people around the world, like yourself, are proving that system doesn't work now. But it's taken, like so long to get there, to be like, okay, look, you can create your own lifestyle.
And like, even you talk to people that actually have like money, actual wealth boys, I'm talking about, not people that earn $100,000 a year. I'm talking about people that make good, like wealthy people. None of them own their own home. They all like rent or lease, because it's a liability. Owning your own property, it's just like you've got debt on something that's not providing you an income, and so a lot of like uber wealthy people don't own their own home. They have debt, but it's put into assets that actually generate them an income through rental yield. But the actual
like investment properties, they'll have like investment properties and like big blocks of like real estate, but living in your own home is actually a liability.
100%. So you've been over there for a few weeks, have you?
3 months now.
Oh, 3 months. Oh,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah, we're about to go. Yeah, man, it's a good world over here.
Was that your first like sort of nomadic journey?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean, I've done traveling in the past, but it's the first time I was really like, okay, like can completely run my business from my laptop now. Like, let's go and move to Bali for 3 months and suss it out. And we'd want to stay. We'd want to stay, but I think the thing that's pulling us back to New Zealand is family and starting our own family. Like, we're going to plan to have kids start of next year, and we just want to have, I guess, a better healthcare system, and like like our family support. Otherwise, we're just like, damn, I wish like we were in this position like 5 or 10 years ago, so that we could have just lived here for a while, because there's such a cool community of people here, like nomads, and just, I mean, the environment, the people, it's a beautiful place.
Do you feel like you developed a bit faster in terms of like your online business because of that sort of intense move, sort of being in an environment where everyone's sort of in that space?
Yeah, for sure. Like, there's definitely that feel. Like, there is a part. Like, there's definitely part of the first month. I was like one of the busiest months, like, for my business, and I don't know if that was just like part of it or whether that was just happened. There's also, because it's a holiday destination, right? And everyone's out and about, and there's like you feel like a little bit of FOMO, like, oh, I'm in a foreign country, I want to go and explore, and I don't want to work right now. Like, so there's a little bit of that going on as well. And especially like you're coming here for only a month, so it might feel like, the space is too short to, if you want to like get on with work, it's probably well, kind of going to be hard.
I sort of said to Jemima, I was just like, because like we're right at that point now with the online business, where I think like it's starting to go quite pretty well, and I said like, let's just go. I'm going to go all in. Like, I'm just going to have an intensive month, just going ham on the online business, and if I feel like it moves the needle enough by the end of the month, then we'll commit to sort of being overseas we'll continue our travels. But if it doesn't look like, I sort of move the needle where I think I'm going to, like if I don't hit this sort of target numbers that I'm sort of aiming for, then, we might have to come back for a bit and try again, in a couple of months' time. So it really all depends on sort of how much work I put in when I go there for that month. But it's really just having that that mindset shift and being like, dude, if like this is your opportunity, do not fuck it up when you go there. Go on this business. Don't get distracted and go and have too much fun, because like, there's plenty of time for fun. I've got to dial in when I get there. I feel like everything in my life is like led up to this point, and in getting our store to a point where we've got a manager in there, and it's going to
Yeah.
it's going to run. We've got the GM who's going to look after everything as well. We've got the franchisee who's taking over before we go. So it's just sort of like everything is like lined up. Our online business is starting to take off. So it's just like,
Yeah.
I feel like everything is just ready to fucking pop. I've just got to put in that like intense bit of work, I guess, when I get over there and, meet some people,
Yeah.
learn a bit. And yeah, I hope that's what I'm hoping for.
I feel like it could be like a good thing for you, like almost like how COVID came and everyone had to lock down, and then all these businesses started pushing, online technology. I feel like for you, it could be like, okay, I'm moving overseas. I can't physically go and like work in my businesses back home. They have to run themselves. I have to make sure those systems are running themselves. So it's almost like the pressure of making sure that it works. And yeah, I mean, hopefully it does. I'm hoping that it can work for you.
I'm hoping,
Because
man. But that's what I said to my wife, and for the audience as well. Like, I get people that come to me for advice, whether it's putting on their first ever employee, or whether it's starting their own business, going from employee to business owner. And I always give the same advice. It's like, dude, it's never going to be the right time, and you have to figure it out in the trenches, because you don't know what you're about to face until you're actually in the trenches, in the thick of it. So you just got to commit and then work it out. And so here's me giving this advice to everybody. And, it's been a pipeline dream of mine to live over in Bali for years now. And I'm just like, dude, take your own fucking advice. Like, commit to it. We're not 100% there yet, by no means. We probably never will be. There's never going to be this time where we go, oh my God, everything's perfect. Let's go to Bali. It's like, no, we haven't, I'd say 85% there. Let's go. There's going to be mistakes that happen, fuck ups that happen. Okay, workshop it, figure it out. Develop the manager and the GM a bit more, so that they, they'll just take a bit more of the, heat, because we're not there, but like they'll learn to, like, that's their role, like, obviously, as long as we're incentivizing them, communicating regularly, and like, I don't see why we couldn't pull it off. So, and worst case scenario, we come back fucking in a month's time, and we had a bloody, a month off.
Cool.
Not a month,
No, that's
off,
amazing. I really like what you said, like just taking the risk. Something that I've like kind of dwelled on the last couple of days, taken away from this last few days, was clarity. We're always scared of the unknown, and clarity comes after action, right? So you're never going to be clear on the outcome. You have to just commit with a calculated like idea or calculated decision on what's going to happen, and then eventually it'll all come clear, or crashing down, either one.
Yeah, but if it does come crashing down, just fucking learn and keep moving forward.
Yeah, that's it. All right, James, let's wrap it up, man. Super happy to have you on. Super happy to meet you, bro. I think we could probably talk for hours on business. We'll keep it short, so we don't take up too much time. But bro, appreciate it, man. Do you want to say anything? Do you want to tell the audience like where we can find you? If someone wants to get some coaching done, or some have a chat with you.
Yeah, man. So on Instagram, guys, I'll just James Hayes _elite, I think. Fucking know.
Wait.
Yeah, so James Hayes _elite, man. On Instagram, that's my main channel. Shoot me a DM if you want to have a chat, no problem at all. We sort of help men scale their tire or automotive business to 7 figures and beyond. So sort of full stack service. So we everything from the whole process. So marketing, sales, team development, all that sort of stuff. Managing cash flow. We've got an accountant as well that's part of the team. So we do regular accounting meetings as well to keep an eye on your numbers. But yeah, dude, just if I could leave you with a bit of advice, the longer you fucking leave it, the further away it's going to get. So if you if you're looking to start a business, if you really want to have a crack, you've just got to fucking do it, boys. Like, the worst thing that happen, like, you go back to what you were doing. But I can't stress enough just how important it is that you go after your fucking dreams. Cause and whatever opportunity vehicle that you have in front of you right now, you've just got to jump in the hot seat and fucking drive it, because it might not be, the opportunity vehicle that you have in 5, 10 years time. Like we're talking about, like we've moved into the online space, and there's an old saying, it's just like learn, do, and then teach. I've always wanted to do something online. I've always wanted to inspire other people and all that sort of stuff. First, I had to learn how to fucking do it. Then I had to prove myself, which is, scale multiple businesses to 7 figures and beyond. And then once I've sort of done that, I've got the authority to be able to teach other people. And it's like that final boss, that next vehicle, like opportunity vehicle that I'm about to jump into or am in at the moment, like that is, what's going to take me to the ultimate sort of level that I've been aspiring to for like 12 years. So
yeah,
just start. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to have enough money. It's never going to be the best circumstances. Just fucking do it.
Yeah, just fucking do it. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on, man. We'll talk soon.
We'll talk soon, bro. All right. See ya.